You know how you sometimes fall into those internet rabbit holes? Well, I recently found myself in one. People were discussing the idea that Palau, our Pacific neighbor, should actually be part of the Philippines. Sounds a bit far-fetched at first, right? But then I remembered you mentioning something similar before, which got me thinking, where does this idea even come from? It's a fascinating claim, especially for those interested in the historical and modern connections between the Philippines and Palau. So, we decided to dig into it, exploring the historical ties and present-day relations between these two island nations. One key event that often comes up in these discussions is Palau's supposed representation in the Malolos Congress. But first, a quick refresher on what that was. The Malolos Congress, held from September 15th to November 13th, 1898, was a pivotal moment in Philippine history. Filipino revolutionaries gathered to draft the first constitution for an independent Philippines, laying the groundwork for the nation they envisioned. Interestingly, records from the National Historical Commission of the Philippines list a representative for the Palau Islands named Isidoro Torres. That sounds like concrete evidence, right? It's easy to see why people might view this as a sign that Filipino revolutionaries saw Palau as part of their broader vision for the new nation. Perhaps they imagined it as a future province or territory, or maybe they saw a shared history under Spanish rule as the foundation for a regional alliance. But context is crucial. In 1898, national borders and identities weren't as firmly established as they are today. Neither the Philippines nor Palau existed as independent nations. Both were groups of islands under Spanish colonial rule, managed from Manila as part of the Spanish East Indies. However, this administrative connection didn't necessarily translate into a shared national identity. After the Spanish-American War, things changed dramatically. Spain sold Palau to Germany in 1899. From there, Palau underwent a series of colonial administrations. Japanese control in 1914, American control in 1947, and finally, independence in 1994. The Philippines and Palau ended up taking very different paths to nationhood. Yet, despite these diverging histories, the two countries maintain a close relationship today. The Philippines even supported Palau's independence, laying a strong foundation for diplomatic ties. On a personal level, many Filipinos live and work in Palau. As of 2021, over 5,000 Filipinos made up a significant part of Palau's workforce, contributing across various sectors. Economic links are also notable. In 2021, Palau's minimum wage was around $3.50 an hour, or PHP 196, with skilled workers earning even more. But beyond economics and diplomacy, Palau is forging its own unique identity, particularly through its environmental policies. In 2020, Palau became the first country to ban sunscreens containing oxybenzone and octinoxate, chemicals known to harm coral reefs. This isn't just a suggestion, it's a law. Tourists can have these sunscreens confiscated at customs, and violators face hefty fines. For an island nation with over 340 islands and a tourism-driven economy centered around its pristine reefs, protecting marine life is a top priority. So, what's the takeaway from all this talk about Palau and the Philippines? Well, the Malolos Congress included a representative from the Palau Islands. That doesn't mean Palau was ever a formal part of the Philippines. Instead, their connection lies in a shared colonial past under Spanish rule rather than political unity. It raises interesting questions. Was Palau's inclusion in the Congress a political strategy? An expression of regional solidarity? Or something else entirely? We may never fully know. What we do know is that Palau has charted its own course, balancing environmental responsibility and sovereignty. Its bold stance shows that even small nations can make a significant impact on global issues. Definitely something to think about. Until next time,